Okay, and we are so back to the room where it happens. You guys like Hamilton? Hey, hey, Aaron Burser. We are back to the chaotic room where no one really knows where to focus their eyes, including myself, because I just look at myself because I'm a narcissist, alright? But at least I own up to it. I don't know why I just did. Hey, just own up to it. Yeah, it's no big deal. Just apparently, I also do accents, if anyone cares. Um, my sunglasses are on my head. It's not sunny out, quite the opposite, but I just couldn't get the goddamn hair right, dude. Like, anyway, it's been growing like a weed, if you will. So, we have these on too. But, um, hi, I'm back home. My parents' home. Full disclaimer. Also, this is gonna be kind of a weird video. I give myself the ick when I make these videos. I really do, and I need to get over that. I need to get over that hump. But I just really sometimes it's just hard to take it serious, which is fine. This is not serious. But anyway, unless you want it to be, and in which case we can start dating. I'm kind of sick of the situationship we have. This could be a perfect time for me to use this time and say subscribe, but I don't want to force you to do anything unless you're into that, you kinky fuck. But I digress. This video is going to be a little different because yesterday when I was driving home, I had a bit of a crash out moment and I filmed a voice memo about it. And so what I want to do is put a fuck ass picture for like 13 minutes and just play the voice memo. Or I don't know how long I'm going to make, like, there might be some stuff of the voice memo I crop out, but I feel as though it's just us people. The crash out needs representation because I know that the human experience itself is just the epitome of one big crash out and no one gets out of that. And if you say that you do, I don't believe you. I think that's a fucking facade. I think that we all go through our fair share of insanity and madness, no matter what our background is or no matter what our circumstances are. I think to be human is to crash out actively a lot of the time. And so I just wanted to put a little bit of that, and obviously I don't really beat around the bush with my own humanity a lot of the time, and also it's just funny if nothing else. It's like, oh great, another privileged white girl gets on, spits some heat about crashing out, but I just like I think it's entertaining if nothing else, and it really encapsulates, sure, the just like I'm just laughing at myself, just how down bad I've been the entire year. I think I talk about it in the video. You'll hear it, but it's like what happened to me, and we'll circle back to this, is that this year I moved twice in the span of a year, and moving already takes a toll on you. And also, this is someone that cannot handle change well at all. Like, someone says the word change, and even though every moment in life is just constantly changing, like all the time, I feel sick to my stomach even saying that. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, girl, I just started adjusting. What do you mean we're already just flipping this bitch on its head? So, yeah, that's great. But, oh my god. Anyway, I think it's silly, if nothing else, and I think you'll enjoy it. And I talk about how I moved twice. I talked about how I dealt with my first little bit of, girl, don't even right now with me, girl. This is fucked up. Anyway, I talked about, I can't do it. Whatever. Just be normal, please. I talked about how I've been dealing with my first bout of grief in my adult life. I lost someone very, very close to me this year. And also, everyone hypes up 21, and this is gonna sound so, like, I don't know, pick me. That's another tangent I think I go on about, but everyone's like, oh my god, the 20s are so great. And I agree that they are great, but I also agree that they're so fucking intense for what? Because it's like the constant falling away of everything you've kind of known about yourself in the world, because you're just getting out of those shit teenage years, but you're not sure of yourself, and you're so just, our brains aren't fully developed, and we're so open to everyone else's energy and everyone else's vibes, I guess. This is such a Gen Z everyone's vibes. But yeah, and we're so like, oh my god, I actually don't really know who I am, and I'm actively trying to let go of trauma that happened to me in childhood and the teenage years, and like try to individuate and be my own person. And again, all of these friendships are shifting and falling away, but I'm making new ones, so that's really cool and great, and I'm learning so much about myself. And it's just like, you just want to, at least if you're me, want to rip off your skin sometimes and just like throw it and just be like, I just don't want to, no, I don't want to, this is too much for a second. I also grew up very sheltered, and so I feel like I've just been thrown into the world. It's like literally the Paramore song that's Ain't It Fun is what it feels like. I'm just like, oh, fuck. Like, damn, girl. So yeah, I also did a very intense psychedelic ceremony this year, and they say when you take this plant medicine, you need to be in a stable place in your life, and every feeling that you're already feeling is going to be 10 times more accentuated, and you should do it in a point of your life that you feel good and feel ready for it and you're stable. I chose to do it when the most unstable I've been in my existence ever, and it literally destroyed me from the inside out. Like, girl, I tell you what, ego death, like, ego death while you're grieving, man, girl, I can't. Anyway, so it's just been a very intense year. And I'm laughing about it right now. Yeah, anyway, you'll see. Okay, anyway, hey! What's up, comrades? Come on now. I love that no one else is gonna listen. Well, maybe. Never say never. But, I gotta tell you what. I am so goddamn, I don't know what to do with myself these days, because I'm like coming down from an existential crisis, but like I also, as of lately, have like no money. You know what? We're gonna go right, because I'm not in the fucking mood to wait for everyone and their goddamn sister's landlord's cousin's son to fucking make a left turn. We're just not gonna do that. Hey, so after further review of listening to my voice memo, I realized that I trauma dumped like a motherfucker, and it was really silly and funny, but also I'm just like, do I like really want to be doing all that? Be so for real. So I'm going to summarize everything that I sort of said in my voice memo, and we're still going to do this podcast style, mainly because I don't want to get ready for the videos right now. So not that I have to, but like I like showing up serving cunt, so sue me. Basically in the video I kind of just talked about what this year has been for me and how it literally got me to the point or I guess in my voice memo, where existence itself was insufferable. And it was like being caught between a rock and a hard place of, I genuinely just don't want to exist anymore. I want someone to Thanos snap me out of this existence, but then also simultaneously being so utterly in love with it, which I also think ties in perfectly to just everything else I said in this video. I think that is what it means to be human a lot of the time. And I talked about just everything in between. I talked about grief and loss and death and change and ego death and existential crisis and yeah, just all of these really terrifying things that all happened within the span of like 6 months into each other, and I really did think I was past the point of no return. And then I returned, just like everything always does. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where I want to take this, because I think I covered a lot of bases in the video that I filmed anyway. Also, I want to say that I did have a little bit of a crash out in the OG voice memo. I played the first part of it because I thought it was funny that I introduced it with cum rags. I'm a fucking comedian, aren't I? But the crash out thing, quick side note, was me just talking about how everyone and everything you do these days gives you the ick and is pick me, so you might as well just do it anyway. We're just at a point right now, which is really funny a lot of the time, but where we literally, no one escapes pick me, choose me, love me. No matter what you do, like, you're gonna get shit on. So, and that drives me nuts. I'm like, girl, you know what? Fine. Then I'm a pick me. Like, God, you're a fucking cuck. That's what you are. So that was what I was on about. But my biggest thing was just like the discomfort with existence itself that I think needs to be talked about more often, where you're just genuinely like you're waking up and the only peace you're getting is when you're asleep and not existing. But I will say the upside to all of this is like now moving through all of that, because the only way through it is through it, unfortunately. Existence feels a lot more compassionate and a lot more sweet and a lot more like manageable, knowing that it is going to end one day.
And obviously that stressed me out for a while too, just like how temporary everything is. But you kind of learn that the temporariness is what makes things special, and like how genuinely mad everyone would go if things did never change and did stay the same. Like, literally, it would just be this constant cycle of the same thing over and over again. And sometimes this life already feels like Groundhog's Day. So can you imagine if it like actually was and there was no escape? Like, there was no escape ever. You just, till the end of time, you were doing the same thing over and over again. And while I do think, just because of the psychedelics, there is a little bit of truth to that, it kind of untangles what you perceive time and reality and death to be. And yeah, that can be a really scary thing. But anyway, I digress. I think that it has helped me view existence in a very different way and experience itself in a very different way. And it no longer is this uncomfortable thing. And I know myself a lot better. And yeah, I just have a lot of compassion for everybody that does exist right alongside of me, because there's so much that we're all carrying that we don't often take the time to talk to each other about. And I've learned through communication this year with people and getting deep and getting past the layers and the masks that we all wear, that like we're all carrying so much shit, and it's not talked about a lot of the time, and it's a really heavy a lot of the time. And anyway, that's kind of where I wanted to go with that. Although a Thanos snap still doesn't sound like the worst idea to me. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess that was kind of where I wanted to go in that voice memo, when I talked about having a crush, and I talked about just like all the feelings that we experience in the human experience, and how, I'm quite in touch with all of that now. And yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I still do want to like take my skin off and hang it up and just not exist for a second, but I think that's where boundaries come in. I think that's where self-love and boundaries meet that feeling. Anyway, this is getting really long and rambly, so I'm gonna cut it here. But yeah, that was kind of that. Enjoy the rest of the video. Love you, shitbird.
Oh, good, you're back. To me, that felt like a really short amount of time, but now you're here. Let's talk a little bit more. I actually don't even really remember what I said in that, but I think that I have a certain obsession, and I watched a Brittany Broski podcast on this, with madness and insanity. Like, I really do. I think it's, as someone who literally thought that I was actually needing to go into a psychiatric facility after after the psychedelic experience, I've just been obsessed with madness and, yeah, just genuine insanity. And I fucking love it when a person loses their shit. Like, I love it. I know that sounds weird, and a lot of people get uncomfortable with that. But for me personally, when I can watch someone like be so vulnerable and break down and have a goddamn fit tantrum, like full blown insane crash out. I mean, that's why we like cinema so much. That's like why we like the movies, because it's portraying the human experience in such an exaggerated way that we all feel from time to time, and I fucking love that. But anyway, um, I don't know if I want to title this. I feel like I was gonna title it "You Are What You Eat," but I kind of want to save that for another time. Um, Also, this is me coming out as a YouTuber. Hey, I want to take this. I want to do this more often. I love it. So cool. Why am I like flustered? I'm like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. Anyway, maybe I'll get to go on those fuck ass dope trips. Y'all remember that? What was it? 2016, 2017? No, like 2018. 2018, 2019 Dope Squad era with like Hannah Maloche, Ellie Thubman, and Emma Chamberlain. First of all, what an era. What a time to be alive. I loved that time so much. And they would go on like all these fun, dope, girly trips. And I'm like, okay, can we bring that back a little bit? Like, bitch, I'm gonna start doing the smoothie challenge again. Like, I miss that era of YouTube so much. I'm gonna fuck around and start a gaming channel. Like, I think that's so much. I want to start a gaming channel where I just play Wii Sports. It's just me by myself playing Wii Sports. Maybe some Mario Kart. If I'm feeling really kinky and frisky, like I might throw in some goddamn Mario Kart, okay? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Yeah, hashtag Dote Squad. like if I went on a dope trip, they'd send me to some random ass honky tonk like town in the South. Dope squad trip to the buttfuck of Alabama. But I would still go if it was a dope trip because they cater. They're cute. Anyway, dope sponsor. I don't even know if they're a thing anymore. They might have gotten canceled. I don't know. I don't know who's canceled and who's not. Probably me soon, actually. This is gonna be my last video because I'm probably gonna get canceled. If things come out about my past, I am gonna get canceled. And that's a fear that I live with on the daily. But I feel like if I expose myself before the people can expose me, it's fine. But then again, that blew up in Hamilton's face. And I'm realizing how much I'm like referring Hamilton into this whole, I don't know why. Hamilton's really been on the brain. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about how I literally said devastated more often than not, and it's gotten to the point where I have just thrown in the towel because I just don't even know what's true and what's false anymore. Like, I feel like everything has just been ripped out from under me, and I was so confident about my spirituality before I experienced grief, and then something like that really shakes you to your core, obviously, and you start second guessing everything, and you start being like, well, is there a God? Is there not a God? Like, what even is spirituality? Is it all a bunch of bullshit and just in my head and me trying to make myself feel better? Or is there something to that? Because there's been moments where I've really felt something. So, which I think also is really the human experience, all of us trying to make sense of this whole thing. And getting it wrong. Or right, you know, I think it's either we're all full of shit or there's a little bit of truth to everybody's shit. And I like to believe in the latter one because I believe in experience itself, and I believe in different experiences, and I believe that we all have our own experiences that shape our belief system, and I think that's really fucking cool. And I love talking about that with people because it also helps me with my own, and not in a way where like we're disagreeing, but like I love to watch those goddamn, I don't even know what they're called, but it's like atheist versus a God believer, like debating on YouTube, and it's intense, and they're sitting in chairs across from each other. Like, I love that shit because I am so enamored. I'm like, yeah, why do you believe that way? Because I'm sure it makes perfect sense to you. Even if I don't agree, I'm just so curious and I want to know, and I want it to help me cultivate my own beliefs. Anyway, but that's not talking about devastation. I'm talking about the genuine grief and devastation that is the human experience, because I've never really resonated with people just being so goddamn joyful all the time. I don't know how people do that, because I'm down in the dumps more often than not. I'm like, God, not doomsday over here, but, and I'm getting a lot better at it, but like, even when I'm having like a super awesome, fun, positive moment and I'm just like, this is so great, there is that voice in the back of my head constantly, it's relentless, that's like, yeah, well, enjoy it because it's all fleeting and it's just gonna be over soon. And I'm like, okay, girl, and I've had this like weird obsession with death since yeah, I need to be on Last Meals, Mythical Kitchen, put me in, coach. Josh and we would have a goddamn time talking. But anyway, I have just always had this like, well, you never know when it's gonna be the last time, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just trying to have dinner, really. Like, can I please just, I'll be eating something and I'll be like, you never know if this is gonna be a last cup of coffee, princess. And I'm like, what is that? Where did that go? And then it takes me out of the moment, and then I'm all pissed off about it because I'm like, stop. I don't want to be thinking like that all the time. But I just, you know, or when I'm with a person, I'm just like, I don't know. This could be our last time for all we know. And then I have OCD, so then I obsess about that, and it just gets fucked. But anyway, I digress. I don't think a little bit of devastation in the human experience, but I teeter so much on like devastation and depression, and I kind of really got to like keep it in the middle. Like, the pendulum will swing way too far sometimes, but I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with accepting the devastation that is life itself, because it is sorrowful a lot of the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. And I also think that that's kind of what makes it, you know? And this whole year has just pushed me to my goddamn limits and the brink, like I said, the brink of insanity. But also part of me thinks you kind of have to go insane to go sane sometimes. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but I'm just like, oh my God, like, I feel a lot more sane and stable now because I literally thought I was losing my mind. And that also, weirdly enough, has helped me develop so much compassion for the world itself and other human beings. Because it's just like this genuine understanding and like, oh, duh moment. We all are a little bit insane and neurotic in our own ways because we're trying to fucking cope with life. And yeah, it's definitely helped me soften a lot and shed a lot of my layers and kind of like, because what ego death does, is it really does like it strips you away of all of these masks and facades that you put up based on your experiences and your life that you've been given, and you kind of like sift through all of those and it breaks you down to your core of just being, and you kind of realize that you're the biggest fucking nobody walking around ever. That's the first part of it, when you realize you go to the void and you're just like, I'm a fucking nobody. Like, I'm a nobody and I don't even matter. Like, this is such a blip in everything, and it's a horrible place to be. I also had an existential crisis, but I will say, if you're in that right now, don't worry, it won't last, because the after effects, the aftershocks of what that is it moves you into the direction, it like really zooms you out and like shows you the big, big, big picture, and then it zooms you back in slowly, like so slowly. I was like, girl, when is this gonna end? Because I am, I can't. But then it zooms you back in, and it kind of like opens you up and shows you, but it's like, yeah, but you also are the biggest somebody ever too. It's weird. I know it sounds like you can't be both, but you can, because technically we all are the biggest nobody and the biggest somebody. And we're all just, it's like it's a joke almost. It's like so absurd, it's stupid, but it's like such a beautiful absurdity, I think. And it just has connected me so deeply with myself. Like, I have been taken through every single emotion, deep, 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 deep emotion that you can go to. And I'm already a sensitive, emotional person. Like, to the point. What? Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my dad came in and he was giving me some presents to wrap for my mom. Wholesome. Also, while I'm making this video, I'm getting so many texts. I think this year has been so brutal on literally everyone. Girl, if you made it through this year, oh my God, Godspeed, you're doing great, and I'm right there with you. And another insecurity that I have, I'm gonna go back to the whole emotional thing, but another insecurity that I have is I am a very privileged individual. I grew up with a lot. I have a lot of privilege, and it's really hard. This is silly, but it's it's difficult when you have been given a lot. This is so not gonna come out right, but when you've been given a lot and you see so much suffering around you, and you just obviously go into that spiral of like, why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? But it's funny because the other side of that is the people that have been given nothing, and they're in that same spiral. That's why me? Why me? Why me? Like, all of us, I think, are asking the question, like, look at like that moment in the cliche coming of age movies where the main character's outside and it's raining and they're like, oh, is that the best you've got? Why me? Fuck you! Like, all of that. It's funny because we're all doing that. Anyway, but yeah, I have a lot of privilege guilt, and I just am trying to figure out how I can use it for good. No, but seriously, it's just, this life, dude. It tests you. But anyway, you're gonna get through it right alongside me or by yourself, but you don't have to go through it alone. That's for damn sure. I might not I can't talk. I might not understand your exact pain, but I do know pain. So let's use that and bond a little bit. Yeah, all my friends are texting me like, girl, this year's been rough, like all of this stuff. But anyway, I was talking about the capability to feel emotions on such a deep level because I also spent 6 months sober, fully sober. Well, not nicotine. But I've been sober. I broke my sobriety pretty recently, and it was a great experience. It wasn't anything bad. I wasn't like trying to be lifelong sober. Sobriety is something that I teeter with a lot. Trying to figure out what that looks like because addiction doesn't just run in my family, girl. It sprints. It's like the goddamn dash, the 5-yard dash or whatever. Anyway, but yeah, human emotion. And like I said, I've always been an emotional, genuinely devastated kid. Even since I was a little kid, I was just so sad, and then I beat myself up for being sad because I'm just like, what the fuck do you have to be sad about, you privileged little bitch? And then it just turned into this whole guilt shame spiral. I'm working through it, but I have realized that there are so many beautiful outlets for pain that I can put it into, and it doesn't have to be like a scary, horrible thing, because I think we're often afraid of our own pain, but in reality, like, if we can use that pain and channel it, look at what that can do. All of our favorite movies and TV shows and pieces of art and music, and just like the genuine connection that art brings us through the devastation and grief and sorrow and void that is the human experience sometimes, not all the time, like I said. You get both, sweetie. You get both. Whether you like it or not. But I have realized, I think I said it in this voice memo too, that I want to I want to be a writer, and I want to be an actress, and I want to be a director, and I've been writing since I was a little kid, before I even knew how to write, and I have realized that that is my path. And I am so uncertain of what the fuck that's gonna look like, but I just know that's what I want to do. And I want to do it in a way where it's like a connection. Like, I want my friends and my people to be a part of it, and I want my art to get like made. And I know this sounds really maybe a little cocky, but hashtag women in film. But like, I really would love to get like a group of women together, specifically, like whatever the fuck Rachel Sennon's doing, girl, call me, because I love what you're doing. But I have these like pieces that I'm working on by myself, but also with other people, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do that, because that's what I want to do. And I think also, despite all of the depression and mental shit and awful things that I've had to go through this past year, it's like reigniting passion for what I actually do want to do. Because the reason that I moved back home was to start pursuing that. The reason I moved away from home was, again, not for the, I hate when people say the right reason, the wrong whatever. The wrong reasons. I don't think it was actually wrong. I think it was one of the biggest learning lessons I've ever been taught. But I moved away because I deep down, I've always known what I wanted to do, but I just didn't have the balls to do it. And I ran away from that by moving because I just wanted to party. And like, yeah, I don't know. I sounds stupid, but like, I just really wanted to party ass with my friends and not really think about anything. And that's what I wanted to do, because I was just like, no, like, I couldn't possibly do it. I can't do it. So I'm just going to run away from that and just get fucked up every chance I get, because I don't want to think about anything. Then someone died. Then I got sober. And then I thought about everything. And then I did psychedelics. So then I really thought about everything. And then I was just like, oh, okay. So if it is also temporary and so fragile and so fleeting and such a beautiful, fucked up, messy shit show, and I experienced so much sadness and devastation in general, but I have this source that I can put all of that in as a way to try to connect with other people around me and like really showcase what it means to be human. And I have opportunities. I've been blessed enough to be given opportunities to pursue that. Why the fuck am I not doing that? It just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. The only thing that made sense out of everything, and the only thing that continues to make sense, everything that has always ever, it always comes back to me, just as an individual living in this world. Not in a selfish way, but I'm just like, I am the thing I've been seeking this whole time. I am the one I've been waiting for. Like, it sounds so fucking cliche, but like, that's what it is. And I'm just like, I'm the only one. And obviously I've had so much help. I could not be here where I am right now without all of the people in my life that have been like guiding me through it. And yeah, there for me during the devastation and all the agony and the ecstasy. But I'm just like, okay, it's all leading back to me. I need to be the one that makes this choice, and I need to fucking do it. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And so yes, I'm devastated a lot of the time, but you know, I'm ecstatic equally. Well, not equally. I would say like 80-20, maybe 70-30. But you know, it's just kind of realizing that I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I believe in destiny or purpose. It changes on the daily. My beliefs are just, but I do believe in myself. And that is really the only thing that I can actually bank on in this life is myself and trusting myself and using my exact situation to figure out how I can exist in a way that I actually want to. So there's that. Talking out my ass here. I think that's all I got for you today. I love you. I can't wait to keep doing this, and we're gonna see where it all takes me. But yeah, I hope this has helped you a little bit. And if you're, girl, if you feel like you're going insane in the membrane, you know, you might be. That's fine. I'm not. If you actually have like problems, please seek help. Like, please, I'm not condoning anything that's like psychosis or anything like that. That's a whole nother thing. But I am saying that it will pass and it will all make a whole lot more sense with time. Our biggest enemy, but yet greatest friend. I can't. Gag me with a spoon. But like, give it time. Give yourself time. It's very healing a lot of the time. And yeah, I love y'all. Thanks for watching Sleazeball. And yeah, I don't know. You're doing great. You're doing great. God damn it. Give yourself some credit. Well, I wish I could kiss you consensually. A little tap on the back there. Okay, bye.